Good morning. Today we will talk about tumors of the oro and laryngopharynx. Tumors of the oropharynx. Benign tumors are rare, so we deal with malignant tumors of the oropharynx. Malignant tumors. Pathology. Oropharynx consists of four sites as classified by UICC. Roof includes soft palate, floor, posterior third of the tongue and lingual epiglottis. Lateral wall, tonsil and anterior and posterior pillars of the tonsils. Posterior wall from the hard palate to the hyoid level in the posterior wall of the pharynx. Incidence of squamous cell carcinoma is 75%. Lymphoepithelioma is 5%. Lymphoma is 50%. Whereas minor salivary gland tumors are 5%. TNM classification. T1 TNM classification is the same for both oro and laryngopharynx. T1 tumors less than 2 cm diameter. T2 2 to 4 cm, between 2 to 4 cm in diameter. T3 greater than 4 cm in diameter. N denotes regional lymph nodes. N0 no regional lymph nodes. N1 one or more ipsilateral lymph nodes but less than 7 cm in diameter. N2 contralateral or bilateral lymph node more than 6 cm in diameter. N3 lymph nodes more than 6 cm in diameter. NX regional lymph nodes are not to be assessed. Squamous cell carcinoma occurs most common in keratinized form in elderly males, is less differentiated type and is sometimes seen in younger patients also. The commonest site of origin is the tonsillolingual sulcus, but the tumors may also arise from tonsil itself, from the palate or uvula, and from the posterior wall on its lower part. These may be local. There may be local infiltration in the tongue, hard and soft palate, alveolus and mandible. Lymph node metastasis appears in the upper deep cervical lymph node. Clinical features. Early features are persistent sore throat after often mild in character, slight difficulty in swallowing is sometimes. The first symptoms occasionally is referred earache. Late symptoms, pain in the ear, in large cervical nodes, salivation. Hemorrhage from the mouth. The tumors is usually ulcerated and Infiltration into the tongue causes it to be partially immobilized and pulled towards the side of the lesion when it is protruded. Diagnosis: some cases have been mistaken for quinsy, especially when trismus is present. Biopsy is essential. Tuberculous and syphilitic lesion must be excluded. Treatment: external irradiation to the tumors and to the entire lymphatic fields. Midline growth of soft palate requires irradiation to the both sides of the neck. Surgery. Second treatment is surgery. Surgery: monoblock removal, wide removal of the tumor and cervical nodes and block. A portion of the mandible, tongue, cheek, tonsil and palate is included in requisite of excision. This is also known as commando operation. Chemotherapy: at present list regarded as possible, offering temporary and palliative relief from the pain. Prognosis: in favorable cases of oropharyngeal squamous cell carcinoma, that is without lymph node involvement, about 30% may be expected to survive 5 years period. Lymphoepithelioma, now known to be highly anaplastic squamous cell carcinoma, not uncommon, especially in younger patients, and usually affect the tonsil, base of the tongue and uvula. Often a bulky, non-ulcerative tumor, but ulceration may occur later. A vallecular growth limits the protrusion of the tongue only in the later stages. Digital palpation of the posterior third of the tongue will often reveal a suspected growth. Endoscopy should always be done. Biopsy of the tumor in this position is important. A lingual thyroid can always be recognized by radioisotope scan. Treatment by radiotherapy of the growth is not include bilateral lymphatic area from clavicle to the base of the skull. Adenocarcinoma, lymphoma can occur in the tonsil and the lymphoid areas of the oropharynx in younger adults and sometimes in children also. Many patients have unilateral enlargement of the tonsil without ulceration and may simulate quinsy. The nodes in the neck becomes involved sooner or later. Whole body lymphoma assessment is mandatory before any local treatment is begun. Treatment by external irradiation and chemotherapy. Removal of the tonsil may be required to obtain adequate biopsy in cases where distinction must be made from the inflammatory enlargement. Tumors of the laryngopharynx. Benign tumors are rare, which are pedunculated fibromas and angiofibromas has been seen to originate from the airy epiglottic fold and piriform fossa. They can be removed by endoscopic division of the pedicule. Malignant tumors, most common is squamous cell carcinoma. Squamous cell carcinoma, commonest neoplasm, and all grades of differentiation are seen. Any other type of neoplasm is extremely rare in this situation. Prognosis is bad with any treatment. No more than 40% have 5-year survival rate. They are best managed according to their position. The positions are superior group around the margins of the larynx, sinus piriformis group, third is inferior group situated between upper border of the cricoid cartilage above and esophageal opening below. Fourth is posterior and lateral group, a semicircular segment of hypopharynx extending from level of upper border of cricoid cartilage to the tip of the epiglottis. Superior group, clinical feature and early stage asymptomatic, later muffled voice and increasing dysphagia. Treatment generally external irradiation with 1 or 2 courses of chemotherapy before radiation. This is known as Price-Hill schedule. Surgery involving the varying degree of supraglottic laryngectomy have been revived recently, often accompanied by block dissection of the neck. Sinus piriformis group, commonest group. The growths are often highly keratinized. Clinical feature initially something in the throat, feeling, later pain on swallowing and radiates to the ear. Increasing dysphagia follows. Hard lymph node high in the neck, often first sign. Diagnosis: a pool of mucus in piriform fossa on indirect laryngoscopy. Treatment: surgical removal of the by pharyngolaryngectomy together with homolateral cervical nodes as a monoblock dissection is the usual practice. Radiotherapy used by some as method of choice. It is also employed as a palliative measure in inoperable cases. Cytotoxic drugs may be helpful as adjunct to either surgery or radiotherapy. Inferior group situated between upper border of cricoid above and esophageal opening below. 90% cases occurs in females. On examination, clinical feature, dysphagia is predominant symptom. This is often associated with hypochromic microcytic anemia and other manifestations of Patterson Brown-Kelly syndrome. Lymph nodes metastasis is often bilateral. Diagnosis, endoscopy, and radiography are required to assess the extent of tumor and especially to define its lower border. Barium swallow should be done always. Treatment surgery is preferred by many, but prospect of cure is poor with any form of treatment. Many hold that radiotherapy deserves initial trial in most cases. Palliative radiotherapy. Cytotoxic drugs have palliative role in combination with radiotherapy. Posterior and lateral groove situated in the semi-cylindrical segment of the laryngopharynx, extending from upper border of cricoid to the tip of the epiglottis. Clinical feature: dysphagia is usual. Presenting symptoms: spitting of blood may be the first sign. Diagnosis: endoscopic examination and radiotherapy. Treatment: usual choice is between pharyngolaryngectomy and radiotherapy. Thank you.